The first of our 5 points will be to end the abuse of the health and care visa. We will stop overseas care workers from bringing family dependents.
Sad news for overseas care workers. UK government have finally ended care workers dependent visa. This is really sad news for all attending overseas care workers. A new 5-point migration plan to cut down immigration has been announced by the government, which include banning care workers from bringing over their families and raising the minimum salary for skilled workers. So guys, you need to watch this and listen to what the new Home Office Secretary James Cleverly announced.
The first of our 5 points will be to end the abuse of the health and care visa. We will stop overseas care workers from bringing family dependents, and we will require care firms in England to be regulated by the Care Quality Commission in order for them to sponsor visas. Approximately 120,000 dependents accompanied 100,000 care workers and senior care workers in the year ending September 2023. Only 25% of dependents are estimated to be in work, meaning a significant number are drawing on public services rather than helping to grow the economy. We recognise that foreign workers do great work in our NHS and health sector, but it is also important that migrants make a big enough financial contribution. Therefore, we will increase annual immigration health surcharge this year by 66%, from £624 to £1,035, to raise on average around £1.3 billion for the health services of this country every year. Second, we will stop immigration undercutting the salary of British workers. We will increase the skilled worker earnings threshold by 1/3 to £38,700 from next spring, in line with the median full-term wage for those kinds of jobs. Those coming on health and social care visa routes will be exempt, so we can continue to bring in the healthcare workers on which our care sector and NHS rely. Thirdly, we will scrap cut-price shortage labour from overseas by ending the 20% going rate salary discount for shortage occupations and reforming the shortage occupation list. I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the occupations on this list because of our new higher skilled worker salary thresholds, and we will create a new immigration salary list with a reduced number of occupations. People only bring dependents who they can support financially. By raising the minimum income for family visas to the same threshold as the minimum salary threshold for skilled workers, which is £38,700. The minimum income requirement of £18,600 has not been increased since 2012. Madam Deputy Speaker, this package of measures will take place from next spring. Finally, having already banned overseas master's students from bringing family members to the UK, I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the graduate route to prevent abuse, to protect the integrity and quality of the UK's outstanding higher education sector. It needs to work in the best interests of the UK, supporting the pathway into high-quality jobs for the global talent pool, but reducing opportunities for abuse.
So guys, you've heard it for yourself. The first on the list that the Home Office Secretary announced is health and care visa. Overseas care workers will not be able to bring family dependents to end the abuse of the health and care visa. Care firms that want to sponsor people for visa applications will need to be regulated by the Care Quality Commission. A dependent is defined by the government as a husband or wife, civil partner or unmarried partner, and children under 18. The second point is skilled worker visa minimum salary change. The threshold for an application will rise by nearly 50% from 26,200 to 38,700. Although health and care workers visa will still be able to earn less before applying for the route. The health and care worker visa will still need detailed explanation. I believe in the coming days there will be more clarification to that effect, since the threshold for sponsoring care workers is still less than the amount that is being prescribed. I'm very sure there will be a leeway to those who are planning to come in through the health and care worker visa. But for you bringing dependents, that has been a thing of the past. So the next point they talk about is the shortage occupational list. Jobs on the shortage occupational list are jobs that have high vacancy with little manpower to occupy those positions. So any job that fall within that threshold, right? The Migration Advisory Committee will advise the government on ways to go about it by reducing either the salary scale or the requirement for applicants who want to work in that sector to come into the UK to fill that sector. So this is what the UK Home Secretary said about a shortage occupational list. The government want to scrap out price shortage labor from overseas by reforming the way people working in short-staffed sector can apply to come to the UK. This include easing the 20% discount applied to the minimum salary for people looking for visa for shortage occupations. The types of jobs on the list will also be reviewed and reduced. So guys, the shortage occupational list is also being threatened. At this point, I'm very sure within the coming days, the shortage occupational list will also be removed, because those who are working in the health and care sector, they are currently earning below the national threshold for skilled workers. So employers that fall within the shortage occupational list can pay their staff below the national threshold of skilled workers, with 20% lesser than that. They can pay that amount if they want, but they have that liberty to pay below that. So from all indication, the shortage occupational list will also be removed. The fourth item that the UK Home Secretary also talked about is family visa. The minimum threshold for a family visa, right, will also be raised to 38,700, right, to ensure people only bring dependents whom they can support financially. Currently, it stands at the 2012 rate of 18,600. So guys, if you are planning to come into the UK, right, with your family, if you are here already and you are planning to bring in your family, this will be an embargo if you are not earning up to 38,700. This was the advice I gave in at the previous video I did before this very one. If you're planning to come into the UK with your dependent, you need to act fast. So just it's as if I got the feeling that this will be coming up within a couple of days. So the last on the list is student visas, right? So this is what the UK Home Secretary said. Following the tightening of who can bring in family members on student visas earlier this year, the government will ask the Migration Advisory Committee to review the graduate route to prevent abuse and protect the integrity and quality of UK higher education. So guys, this is a bad news to intending migrants planning to come into the UK. The UK government has finally hit the nail on the head. This is something most of us have seen before now, and we've advised those who want to come into the UK to expedite action to be able to beat all of this plan on visas for care workers and care worker dependent. So but now it has finally come. So guys, if you gain value for this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave a thumb up so YouTube can recommend to a wider audience, and you can as well leave your thought on the comment box. See you in my next video.